Okay, I'm pretty positive that it's quite literally just that map itself. Like when I load into this, I'm going to be fine. Yeah, it's literally just the map. There's something wrong with the map. I guess now you also get to see this cool little intro right here. Whoops. What button was it? Actually, I don't think there's anything tied to it right now. Oh well. Yeah, I'm confident it's just an issue with the map. The map is just I don't know. I think it just feels like it wants to prank me for a day. So yeah, I'm just going to take everything from the map, and that should hopefully be fine. If not, we'll just start the stream back up again, and yeah, pretend this all never happened. Don't forget the settings, and yeah, skadoosh. We'll just start from a new blank map. Okay. Let's see if the player can load into this just fine. He should be able to. Yeah, okay. So it's literally just the map. Yeah, it's literally just the map. Okay. Allow me to spend some time to quickly share the new stream to other people. Because this is honestly annoying. Alrighty then. So this map is completely safe. I just created it on my main profile or on my PlayStation profile. So I'll just have to port it over to the PC profile. But that's fine. I just mainly intend on doing the basic logic and not anything like the intros and all that stuff. Well, maybe a couple of the intros, but not a whole lot of them. So anyways, I'll just explain it again while I'm adding all the stuff back in. So when the main screen value changes, it will set everything to white. Then when it finds, and then when it also changes, it compares the integer compare to the value that it has. If it's true, it will be yellow. Okay. We'll do this for everyone except custom night, which we'll just label CN, is a little bit different. There's a little bit of a different case. Ugh, wrong one. I'm way too fast for this thing. 1, 2. Those are just called CN for now, but we don't need to worry about that one. So with this one right here, this will only do this if custom night is actually available. If it's not, it will simply display it in a red-ish text. There we go. And if it's not equal, it will just show up as gray. And we'll only do this if the boolean is false. Okay. We'll just add this as a player to actually hit the button and reuse it as well. Okay, let's hope it doesn't crash. I don't think it will. There we go. It's loading. And it's the exact same way as before. God, I love Wyatt's logic. Anyways. Ah, I put the thingy on the wrong arrows. But it is working. And as we hover over here, you can see the custom night is turning red, and then it's turning back to black. So let's enable this. Now it's white, and we can actually go over it, and it's yellow. So yeah. It's working. So yeah. It's actually working now. Woohoo. Okay, so let's think. What do I want to do? Well, we're first going to name everything. Whoops. Nights. Custom night. Extras. Settings. And quiz map. We'll also add in sounds because I do want to add that in. And it's very simple how we make the sounds. We'll also correct this. Yep. This camera will not disable itself, but when we press the jump button, this will... Oops. That's the one. Okay. When you press jump, it plays a sound as well. Okay. When it quits, we make it end the map. We'll just do this for now. This is definitely going to change in the future. But this is just a good placeholder for the time being. The nights section is just going to shit, how do we actually do that? Don't worry about it. We'll use the same logic for these ones. Well, no, we just do one. That's the nights. When it tests this, it will check if the night is 1. And then it will, let's just say, AI, blah, blah, blah. It will do that, and then it will perform the start night. Well, I just call it start game. But yeah, we'll just set everything first before then starting the game on this night. Ugh. That also doesn't work like that. It just copies the custom event. So that's the start game. This is the custom night screen. So we'll just do that. Yeah. We'll have these all be custom events. Extras. And this is the settings. And so for settings, this is actually very simple. When it activates, we will have this. And we'll just repeat the same thing with what we did over here. And that's kind of how we'll go about with making these custom menus. We'll just say 0 to 6. This will then have this as the camera. I did the same thing again. And don't need to copy that. I could just link the signals. Actually, don't copy this. We'll remove this. Copy it. Then do that. I do kind of want to save up on logic with this map, so a lot of stuff is just going to be linked together if I want it to be the same sound. When you press circle, it will disable the player input and make it go back to the main screen. That's for the settings menu. And also on map start. Disable everything. So that is for the settings. This will just have this as the value. That is the settings. Then we have the extras. Which will be over here because there will be a lot more things in the extras that I'll just add in at a later date. We'll set it to 4 and we'll just, there we go. And to know for sure that it's different, we'll give this a pink color. This over here will be where the custom night screen is located. Well, actually, it will be 7, technically speaking, with what I want to add in as a bonus thing. Okay. Where is the world text? There it is. We'll just make this yellow. Do that. Then custom night screen. Okay, there goes. Yeah. Settings, extra, main screen, and the custom night. Okay. This one will obviously only go through if the custom night is unlocked, but that will be done later. That will be done later. Much later. Okay, that is just going to be 1. Well, since the menu is going to be a little bit different, this will have to be 3. This will have to be 2. No. 4, 2. Seven kind of makes it difficult to maneuver around like that, so yeah, that is the best way to do it. This will be used to compare if the value has to be increased or not. I'm just adding in the base for now. If custom is 6 is actually the best because that actually does make it 7 since 0 is a value. When you press fire, it adds. If you press weapon mod, it decreases. Decrease and increase. And this will be weapon mod. We'll see this value change as well with a green color. Oh yeah, let's also save this. We'll just call it GGGGG for now. I already know the name of the map, but yeah. We'll just call it nameless for now. Let's hope it doesn't crash. It didn't. Good. Okay. So you press jump to go to this screen. Then you press that button to increase it. Cool, that works. Oh, I forgot to add in a leave. I forgot to add in a leave option. Okay, so crouch, yeah. This will then bring you back to the main screen. Is that also on here with the settings? Yeah, okay, that's also here, except it's for use. Not on you, though. Wait, what? Whoops. Signaled. There we go. And yeah, that is just crouch. It just does that. 0.1 delay, 0.1 delay. That's to avoid the player from immediately going back through here with that 0.1 delay. Since Snap Map responds in a literal milliseconds. So yeah. That is that. Right. This one as well. Okay, you're already tagged. You just need to get tagged. Okay. Let's see if it all works now. There we go. Okay, we can go back. This is the extras, which does make sound because I added the sound in. And settings also works. Just custom night hasn't have the sound right now. And that's the grid map, which also works. So we're done with that. Ugh, sorry. Okay. What now? What now? What now? What now? What now? Right. Okay. And this one actually has a name. The other ones I don't have a name for. And this is just office power. Okay. Let's decrease. Okie dokie. Whoa, that was fast. Did I do the right thing? No, of course I didn't. That was way too fast. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just move the whole thing over. It's practically the same thing, except the name is wrong. Okay, that is that. That is that. And I'll just put it like this so that I can see the thing. That's anomaly 2. That's anomaly 3. That's anomaly 4. 5. Ugh. Guilt is then the next, and then power gen. We'll put it by default at 10. And just for this. Okay. Let's connect the office, the main screen thing around to this. This increases the value, so it should sound kind of positive. What was the sound again? UI. Okay. Okay. So that will be 10. And yeah. Alrighty then. Okay, numbers are clipping through them. Cool. So that works as it should. I'll just grab the loading screen, which actually kind of just functions as like multiple purposes. And that's also because like you have the filter that can change. It brings a lot more effects to the loading screen, but I had to remove it unfortunately. Okay, so that is out. Just for this occasion, I will add that in because we don't know if it's going to crash or not. since it already crashed within the first 20 minutes of the stream starting, so I don't think it's tied to this object, but I don't want to risk it. So yeah. Anyways, I know it says you died, but that's also because this is kind of meant to be like multiple purposes. It might be a little bit off angle. It might not be. I don't know. Yeah, it definitely is. I'll just fix this up eventually over time. Uh, so this is just loading into it, which will just say that transition text. Alrighty, that is that. We'll just say loading. ... We'll just add in all the default stuff. I don't think I need to actually hide this stuff. Well, it is good when I do come to the map and I move it over to a PC, to my main profile. Yeah. Okay, so that will be this first. It will set that, then it will set the filter, and then it will signal the loading thingy right here. Okay, I need to put this into a 3 speaker because it wouldn't work otherwise. There we go. This works, but it doesn't work the other way around. So that will change the text on here. Yeah, I should signal connect this for the time being. Okay, that's transition text, which will be loading when we're loading in. Actually, and the reason why we are creating a loading thing is so that I can put several repeaters in the background to keep signaling logic to turn it off, just in case it somehow gets triggered while it's loading. That's the same reason why it even exists in it's also the reason why it just exists like that in Ultimate Unite. I lost my words there for a moment. So there we go. $51. We'll give it like a 5-second load. And of course, there is a way to speed it up, but you might get issues if you do that. So yeah, do it on your own risk. Dot dot dot. Okay. That just activates like that, and when it realizes this thing is, hold on. If it's equal, it will change the temporary text to nothing. It will stay to nothing, and then it will fade to oh, black screen. Yeah. It'll take 2 seconds to fade in, and then it will start. Ah, it just removed it. Okay. Start game. The default effect is the grape tint. Shit, wrong one. Sorry. Yeah, we'll just have it be yellow. That's loading into. Now we have death screen. Which would just say you died. It wouldn't say who you died to. It just yeah. And then it will have a red tint to it. When it detects you're leaving the transit, it will just actually, it doesn't need to detect when you leave. Yeah, actually it does. Because the speeds can be different. Okay. Death screen does that, does that, does that. After 2 seconds, it will activate this. And if they press shoot, they will instead trigger the loading screen. If it's weapon mod, Same thing will happen, except they will instead go to the main screen right away. Yeah, that's leading transit. Okay. Main screen and leading transit. That's the wrong one. Ugh. No, don't do that. Stop it. Okay. And this just allows the whole map to reset itself. Okay. This gets shown after 2 seconds. This will have the number 7 here and the number 3 here. Nice. If loading into is triggered, then it will hide this logic. Two. And this will be 1. Well, slightly bigger, but yeah. Ugh, I think it's off-centered, but I think it's actually right. I'll correct that issue when I'm on my PC with this map. Everything will be more aligned in the center. Okay, that is that. And then we have another one. Let's do BT Night. We'll have to put in another string. That is that one. This will then build the transition text using the first component as the what? Huh? Change. Huh? Revert. Survive text and night value. There we go. It will build the transition text. It will then give the camera a greenish tint. It's going to be too hard to see. There's not really a green tint on this thing. Well, except for that. Yeah, I'll just have to go with that. So it will do that, and then it will, after 2 seconds, trigger the loading into. But also, it will increase the night value by 1. Which really is just 90 start at. Haven't actually seen if the thing updates when we activate it. So we'll just use that. And then we have the we'll put in this interactable. This is get transition, and there we go. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, this should all be working now. And we'll have this extra thing as well. No. Yeah, actually. This will just be loading, and then Okay. Yep. Yeah, that works. I honestly thought that would just leave the whole thing. We have to load back into that. We have to load back into that. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So let's say we won, and it was night 2. I know what happened there. It doesn't actually want to go to the cameras because it never triggered uh, this right here. And also, for the time being, when we're leaving transit, we'll disable the camera. It's not supposed to do that because it will just enable the camera uh, in the office when that does start. So yeah, anywho, let's also make this reusable so we can see it over and over and over again. Nice. We win. Nothing happens. Now we're loading into night 2. And then we beated night 2. Now we're loading into night 3. Yeah. And this is just transit. And death will trigger like this. Okay, and then when we do this, it will just load into night 3. Awesome. So it works. And then we'll also have to enable something else as well when we are actually in the custom night. So this will just be that, and then we press jump. Because here's the one thing. Custom night will just and then when we're in the custom night screen, it will just say custom night active. Alrighty. This thing, before it adds something, will check if it's not equal to 6. And we'll have 7, because 7 is often referred to as the night you start at. So when it's set to 7, no, First, save night progress. This will be referred to as NVS, and this thing will then get set to 7 instead. So when that does happen, it will check for the retry. It will, instead of loading into that, it will then check if the value is 7. If it's not equal, it triggers this loading into. Wait. Wrong way. Yeah, this is the main screen. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Main screen not equal. Signal that. If it is equal, then signal custom night screen instead. Well, that just did that for some reason. Yeah, that's just the good sound. That's the best sound. Okay, that is done. It signals that. Then when it detects that you're leaving back to the main screen, it will quickly go back to here and add in the NVS value that it's saved. So yeah, now it will say you're loading into night 7 if you're starting it from the customized screen. And now as well, you can press jump to enter the loading it into part of this. So yeah, let's see this work. Okay. So just set this to night 2, and we will activate the custom night. Now going into night 7. Yep, that is that. Now we die in night 7. We retry. We load into night 7. Cool. it will say we're on night 7. Now we go back over here, and now it doesn't even want to save. Right, because the NVS value is instead, yeah, okay. Very simple fix for this. Very simple fix. You add in a gate that when it detects that it triggers, it does this, which means that it will set one side to true, and because it can only activate when both are false, it will only technically activate the signal once, and only once you go back to the main screen will this thing unlock again for you. Now, the system should work fine as it is. We'll just set this to 2, and we'll load into... Whoops, wrong loading. That is night 7. Now we cannot touch that part because if we do, the system will break. So instead, we die. We return, go back, and now for some weird reason, the thing is doing that now. So yeah, that's cool. It will save the value that you started. Okay, which signal goes first? It's working as intended. It's definitely working as intended. Now it should definitely work as it should. Okay, it's loading into night 7. You died. Press weapon mod, press circle. Now it's back to 2. Whoops. Well, we're loading into night 7 now, so yeah. Alrighty then. You died. Weapon mod. Go back. Go back. We have to press this actually. Now we win. Loading night 3. Okay. And now we shouldn't load into night 7 because we're on night 6 already. Yeah, okay, that works. And since we also got this logic in place, this will then be night 7, And then when we die, we will be able to return. And yeah, that works. Nice. So the one thing that we'll now add in is when it does trigger. Okay, we got the right one. So that is referencing start game. When it detects that we beated the night, it will not trigger this thing right away. It will instead signal this thing. And after 2 seconds, if it detects it's night 7, or when it detects that it is a night 7, it will signal this. If it detects that it is night 7, it will immediately force this to activate. Which actually we can just connect it directly to this. So yeah, when it detects night 7, you're on night 7 and you beat the night, it will just immediately leave. But if you aren't on there, it will just say, hey, this is actually, it's better we do this. If the left-hand side is greater than or equal to the value, it triggers the signal. Because then on night 6, it immediately... No. Yeah, no. If it detects you're on night 6, if it's less than the integer, it does that. If it detects less, then it will kick you over to the main screen. If it detects that this is greater than the equal number, it triggers this logic to go off. Yeah. Okay. So now when it's 6, what should happen is that we get sent back to the menu once we beat the night. Okay. We win. Cool. Now we set ourselves to 7. Then we win. And we load back in here. Awesome. Okay. Now we go on to the somewhat spicy stuff. This was the main logic that would be used to determine what night you start at and would modify the anomalies. But instead, what we're doing is when it's less than or equal, then it tests this. And it tests this logic upon loading into this. It will roll this. If it tests this is this, then it will test this. But before that, it sets all these anomalies to 0. Yeah, right here. Okay. But I will always set the office power to 10 as the base value. So night 1 will have this. And so on and so on. Each night will have its own difficulty. Oh, well, the animatronics activate. And 6 is the boss fight. Okay. This signal is triggered again. This is set to 4. And this one is set to 7. That is 2. This will set these two to 8. This one will become 6. And then this one will activate with an AI of 4. Six, 4. Is this the 8? Okay, that's the 8 thing. This one will set itself to 9. And we have the final one, which just sets this to that. Do these two have anything? Okay. This gets set to 8. And this one gets set to 10. And this signal gets triggered again. Let's see what this one does. This sets 3 and 4. This one sets this one uniquely to 9. This one becomes 4. And this one sets itself to 10. And then we have the boss fight, which just sets guilt active to 5 AI. But he will change throughout the night with how fast he moves and add more anomalies into the thing. But yeah, And every single time the office power generation is set to 10 as well. So yeah. And now in here as well, we can also just add in that user input 1 resets everything to 0. Well, no. Actually, what it does is that it adds to the count. How did I do that original system? Huh. I forgot. Well, this will set everything to 20. And then if it's... Sorry, wrong one. Or not equal, if equal, it does that. Okay. And that should allow something like that to exist now. Now we're on night 1, which has the following 6600010. We win the night. Now we're loading into night 2. Which now is 764. This now is 8864. Yep, that's 9866. Okay, and that then becomes 10884. Ah, right. Loading. Which is just guild starting at 5. Okay. We die. We go back, go to the custom screen. We load in on night 7. But we die because we haven't tested this out. We set everything to 20, we load back in. And everything stays at 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay. So yeah, that system works now. That's awesome. Have to love it. We'll add a lot more visual flair later on. But let's see here. Yeah, okay. Well, my phone turned off. I might have missed somebody that messaged. No, nobody did. Okay. So we're now going to start the Office gameplay. Which will be a little interesting to see. We'll build the office right here. And we'll just build some basic geometry so we can reference where the camera is located. The tines need marks. Sorry, the dog was looking. The dog was looking like the owners were coming home. Okay. Now we set up the camera right here, like this. Let's see how far. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Maybe put it a little bit forward. Yeah, that works. We'll put in a little roof. And then we cast the void of dark space onto anything outside of here. Bring the roof down. Set this to 2. Widen this a little bit. Nobody can actually see the grid room down there. So yeah, that is that. Are the doors a bit too small? Yeah, true. We make them bigger. These are just references for now. Put it closer to the middle of the door. It looks better. Okay. And then we'll just add in a desk. Where is the desk? It's large crops. All the way down here somewhere. Found it. Well, it's actually a table, but whatever. We'll just add in a table. Why not? Yeah, we'll do this for the time being. Okay. Start game. So when we start the game, we activate office controls. There we go. You can press, let's see here. Yeah, we'll just use this. It's like the states for the doors when they're closed. Yes, it don't fit, I know. It's whatever. Okay. There's also the one thing as well that I should mention. You can actually aim the lights at the doors, so this system is going to be a little bit more complicated than what I would normally put in here. Okay. Instead, the office is going to have a whole control scheme similar to the custom menus. This is the office hover. This will be taunt 2, and this will be taunt 4. Oh, that is them. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, anyways, this is Office Hover, which will have 0 to 5, but there's actually only going to be 4 options. This is because there will be an integer compare that will compare if the hover is set to 0 and set it all the way to 4. And the same thing will happen if this is set to 1. Or if you go to 5, it will instead go instantly over to uh, that button. Okay, that's 4, that's 1. Okay, this will be 1 by itself, and by default, you will start off at 1. Okay, so we'll just put this over here. And then we'll also do this as well, but for the office. Okay, that is that. We'll run these same checks over here. If it detects it's 1, it will turn this to yellow. Oops. I want to copy and paste that over right now. Okay. That will test that, and that. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Enable frame, and the frame will be left door, right door. This will have an arrow. Going like that. When you start the night, you will obviously do this. Okay. So yeah, that is tone 2 and that is tone 4. Then we have these buttons. Toggle door. No. Yeah, no. How would I actually go about with that? Is that if it is door L, then activate door L. If it's not door L and it's door R, activate door R instead. Then simply, when you press shoot, you toggle the right door. While you set this to true, and you stop this and the office controls. No, you don't activate that just yet. Then when you do that, you activate this. Release. Same thing will happen over here with this one. Also signaling both this when you press fire. And it'll also activate this. Wrong door, sorry. That will be left door. When you release fire, you instantly just do this. And then you test this and enable this thing again. On releasing fire, you do that. And this will also do the same thing. Test the boolean and enable the player input. And you release weapon mod. When they press weapon mod, it does that instead. And same thing happens if they press this. This happens when they press fire, fire, weapon mod. Okay. And to check the status of the light, we just have this. There will be an actual light that will glow towards that door, but right now this is just what we have. And let's see if it can actually function. Okay. Go. Why are you doing that? I think that's because you're going first. Yeah, you're going first before everything else. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a little bit messy, but it works. It works. This will just be a light release instead. Or is that door release? That is door release. That would be a serious fuck up. Okay. And this system will prevent this stuff from breaking. Now I do want to find out what is causing the... I know what's causing it. Come here, you. There you are. And we also need to activate this one over here as well to disable the controls as well. Okay, and then temporarily, to make this a whole lot easier, We just signal the main screen. 0.4 seconds after loading in. Okay. Of course, those other options don't work right now, but that is really just that right now. Okay. Let's see. We will actually just change how this stuff goes. This will be 1 instead. This will be 2. This will be 4, and this will be 3. The R, the L, fuse box, and then we have cameras. Which these ones will actually just be tied to this, which will just press jump, and this will just disable that. Well, only when jump is pressed. If they're equal, they will just disable the player inputs. So fuse box, forge. Camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 3. I should definitely put this on the relay instead. To fuse. To desk. Same thing over here with camera 3. Camera 5. Camera 6. We'll just put this black coloring on the wall here as the fuse box. So I should give it this color. Oh god, how many did I make? This is camera 8. This is camera 5. This is camera 3. This is camera 4. This is camera 7. And this is camera 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. These are the cameras that get signals when they go to the fuse box. Yeah, let's save this. This is the camera. Yeah, so this is for the fuse box specifically. To say moving. Which then goes out after 0.8. And while we're moving, we're triggering these animations. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then after 0.8, we get the fuse box. However, this will for now just be that we press crouch to go back to the fuse, which will trigger the same thing, except now it will be in reverse. Okay, after that, after 0.8 seconds, it does that. Okay. Let's see if the fuse box works. For some reason, it's not triggering the animation. This is all connected, right? So it should be working. It just doesn't want to move. It should be working, but somehow it isn't. Which is odd, because it should. It's on camera for some reason. Oh, that's really slow. There is a way to make it faster, though. I think if we just reduce the speed to half, it should be fine. Oh yeah, we don't need to do the bass. We just put this. Oh no. Yeah, do this first. This becomes 1. This becomes 0.15, which this then becomes 2. This then becomes 0.25, which then makes this 3, and this then becomes 0.35. Well, actually, this should be 035. Yeah, this should be 3. This is camera 1. Nope. 0.5, 1, 0.15, 2. Oh, right, because I took the controls when why is no wonder why this stuff is so complicated. This is fuse box, this is camera. Ugh. Ugh, 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 ugh. Seriously though. Now that is fast. It does take some time for the controls to come back, but it does work. The one thing I guess that I can definitely do is when this thing starts moving and the signal is set to true, it hides all of this text. The false text will not be there, of course, but yeah. Okay. That's the start game logic. Right. He was here. And since we started the office, this just signals that. Because this will activate when we're returning back. This is also the new speed. I could make it faster as well if I think it's really needed. Which it might be, but that's honestly dependent on how fast these guys will be moving. Which, these guys will be moving really fast. Yeah. Let's add the camera stuff in. But before we do that, link up the fuse box logic with the on map start. There we go. When this does trigger, this will instead trigger camera controls. Which we'll just leave it like that, and we'll quickly go back to map start. So that this thing can signal that. And we can then press crouch to give control back to yep. And then we also set the camera back to 0, 0 right away. Okay, so for this camera, I do want this to have a little bit of a different, yeah, a little bit of a different thing on it. So yeah. There will be a total of 9 cameras. Some will be in the closets where these anomalies will start at, while 7 of them will have majority of them all there. So yeah, let's get started with the world text thingies. This will be 7 out of, well, 9 out of 9. Sorry. We'll just do 1 out of 9 like this. Well, no, 9 out of 9 is better. Yep. Okay. That is 9 out of 9. Controls will be on the or I don't know what side on the screen I want it to be. I need to put this text closer because I want to add in camera static as like a thing that is actually there. Or just make the text slightly bigger. Yeah, that works. Okay, that's 9 out of 9. I'll just save it like this one out. Press crouch to view. Or to exit. That's shorter. These controls will have to be, the text has to be smaller. So we'll put it further back. Ugh, why did I say it like that? This is camera 9 out of 9. Perfect. Press crouch to exit. Go up. It's told one to go up one. To go down one. Jump to flash. Because there will be a flash mechanic on here. There will also be the ability to use the lights, which is used in some scenarios. To exit, tell one to go up, tell three to go down. To go down one, jump to flash, shoot to shine flash, to shine the light. And then there will also be the option to switch from one side of the hallway to the other. Mm-hmm. That will also just be a different button as well. Okay. Now for the camera static, which I'll just put this. Let's start off with 10. Nah. Five actually works really well. Yeah, 5 will do. It's a bit too close. Push it back further. Yeah, actually, that does work. The color will be white. But yeah. Is that now? Okay. I should also just get this done right away. This will make it harder to just see where if everything is positioned correctly once I add in the models. But I can also just make everything transparent, or yeah, make the camera static transparent before I did the moving. So yeah, no, we're fine. We're fine. Perfect. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 layers. Okay. So when this thing starts, it will also start a repeater. No. Um. Yeah, I think a timer. Let's do 0.15 while I'm at it, since I made these values over here. We will instead signal a random relay that will only pick something. So that will be row 1. That will be row 2. This will apply, by the way, to every single line. Across the map. Okay, this is the only one. So now we should have 11. Yeah, we go 11. So this is R1. We'll label these so that I know what line to make it. Whoops. Okay, that is that. Now we'll go to everything. We'll make those lines disappear after 0.8 seconds, just to see how that looks like. Okay. We'll just have this go to this one right now. We'll also set everything to white, since that is going to be the default color. Okay, and now we'll just check if everything on here is correct. Yep. Okay, so this will activate every 0.15 seconds. So we'll just see how bad the static is and if it disappears as well. That works surprisingly well, but it's too much. I'll just see how much 0.25 is. Maybe that's enough, or maybe 0.2 is like the fine balance. I think 0.2 might be good enough for camera static. Point 0.3 might be good enough. I'm switching out the timer for a repeater. I also want this to keep going when the match is going, so that when you go into the cameras, you have the static just there already. Zero 0.4. That should allow for 3 bars on the screen. If not, 0.35 is something we can try again. Yeah, let's try 0.35. We'll just... Okay. 0.3. Definitely 0.3. That's like the best one. I'll look at it again just to see if I'm sure I want this to be the camera static. Yeah, this definitely works as camera static. Does look a bit broken when it's close together. But let's see how this looks in the dark filter. That one, for some weird reason, is just like that. Same with that one. Wait, is it just me, or does this stuff just keep... That might be better. Ah, this is just sticking out. Very annoyingly so. Now it's a bit hard to tell with the dark filter over it. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Do I want to continue with the camera system for tonight? Ah, it's kind of late. Um, yeah, tomorrow I'll do a bigger stream. This is kind of it for now. We'll continue more tomorrow, and we'll probably add in all the cameras and the rooms and the yeah, just spend a lot more time getting this stuff together and ready. And also, before I go, I should quickly lock this into single player so I don't need to worry about the network and it. Oh, what? There we go. Um, yeah, okay. So, thanks for watching, anybody that was watching. I'll probably be back on tomorrow. If not, it will probably be next weekend or maybe during the week when I feel like it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, have a good